At 3 a.m., the world is quiet enough for truth to surface. Our cities sleep. Institutions relax. Systems run on habit rather than awareness. On the night of the 8th of August, 1963, nothing unusual was supposed to happen. The Glasgow-London traveling post office train was not guarded like gold. It didn't need to be. For decades, it had moved millions every night without incident. And that was the mistake. Because the most dangerous moment for any system is when it becomes predictable. To understand the robbery, we must understand what Britain was in 1963. This was not a digital economy. Money did not move through servers or encrypted networks. It moved through steel carriages, guarded by paperwork and trust. Banks relied on the Royal Mail. The Royal Mail relied on schedules. And schedules relied on the belief that no one was watching closely enough to interfere. The Glasgow-London postal train carried used banknotes, sorted while the train was moving, a practice unheard of today. This train represented efficiency over security. And efficiency always creates shortcuts. The robbers were not innovators, they were observers. Bruce Reynolds and his associates had spent years failing. Small thefts, prison time, miscalculations. But failure taught them something more valuable than success ever could. Big systems don't fall from force. They fall from familiarity. They didn't watch guards. They didn't track police patrols. They watched patterns. What time the train slowed? Where signals controlled behavior. How many seconds passed before a contingency plan activated? This was not a robbery planned in weeks. It was planned in years. Every secure operation has a secret weakness, not technology, not manpower. People. Someone inside the system knew which carriage would hold the money, that the alarm system would be disconnected, that a reserve carriage without alerts would be used. This information was not guessed. It was handed over. And that changes the nature of the crime. Because this was no longer an attack on the system, it was the system attacking itself. The insider was never identified. And that absence tells us more than any arrest. Hollywood teaches us that crime is loud. Reality teaches us that successful crime is quiet. The gang understood one psychological truth. People remember violence longer than loss. If no one dies, outrage fades. If no one screams, systems hesitate. Their plan was built around compliance, not terror. The red signal was not dramatic. It was bureaucratic, a symbol of authority that drivers are trained to obey without thinking. That training, meant for safety, became a weapon. No plan survives contact with reality. The backup train driver, meant to ensure a smooth escape, failed. He couldn't operate the modern engine. In that moment, control slipped. They were forced to depend on Jack Mills, a man who had nothing to gain and everything to lose. Fear replaced precision, and fear always leaves scars. The blow to Mills' head didn't just injure a man, it poisoned the crime. Robbery is not abstract. Money has weight. The gang imagined speed. What they encountered was exhaustion. Mailbags weighed nearly 50 kilograms. Sweat blurred judgment. Adrenaline distorted time. They escaped with millions, but not with dignity. Every extra second at the scene increased risk. Every bag carried slowed the body. This was not a cinematic escape. It was labor. Criminals are most vulnerable after success. At the farmhouse hideout, the pressure vanished. So did discipline. They touched what they shouldn't. They stayed longer than planned. They treated evidence like souvenirs. The Monopoly game wasn't celebration. It was a confession of arrogance. And arrogance always leaves fingerprints. The investigation wasn't brilliant. It was methodical. The police didn't chase stolen money. They chased behavior, who suddenly spent differently, who reconnected with old associates, who tried to disappear but stayed visible. Crime doesn't end when the act is over. It continues in choices. Two figures remain missing: the insider, the substitute driver. Their disappearance is not a mystery. It's a lesson. Not every crime is fully visible. Some roles are designed to vanish. This crime didn't just steal money. It restructured trust. After 1963, a cash transport became fortified. Human access was restricted. Redundancies were eliminated. Not because crime increased, but because belief collapsed. The greatest robbery of all time wasn't about cash. It was about exposure. It proved that systems fail not from attack, but from comfort. And the moment a system stops questioning itself, it becomes vulnerable.